So today we are making a dish out of eggplant, tomato, and peppers that I've roasted under the broiler in the oven. You can certainly do this outside on your grill. In the summertime, you've got tomatoes coming in from your garden that you don't know what to do with. So here's an idea for you guys. Eggplant as well. I don't have a name for it. This is just something I created, and I hope you give it a try. So you want to start by lining a cookie sheet with foil, and absolutely should do it because this gets messy. And you want to wash your peppers, and then you're going to put them under your oven broiler. You could certainly roast them on a grill if you wanted to, but I'm going to do them under my broiler today. And what you're going to do is keep an eye on them, stay nearby, and then you're going to turn them as they get charred on each side. Not with your hand, preferably with some tongs. I'll see you in a few once they start to get charred. Okay, so the peppers have charred on one side, and I could have let them go a little bit further, a little bit longer. You can make them all completely black, and then you just keep rolling them. I'm using my hand. I told you not to, but I have hands of steel. Use your tongs. And I'm going to just do each side until they turn completely black. Okay, so once your peppers are completely charred, what you're going to do, I took one off before because it was ready earlier, but what you're going to do is just put them in a paper bag. And you're going to fold it shut and just let it rest until the peppers are cool enough to handle, and then I'll show you how I peel them. Okay, so I have one bag that I previously put some peppers in, so we're just gonna do this. And the skins should come off very easily. The last thing you want to do when you're roasting peppers is run them under water to clean them, because that gets rid of all of this flavor from the char that you worked so hard to get. So you see how easily the skin peels away. And now you can just make a slit here, open it up, and the seeds are here. Hopefully you can get it in one bunch like that. There's a few left here. You can scrape them away with your hand. And here we have a perfectly roasted, charred pepper. What I have here is some eggplant that I've roasted under the broiler in my oven. I've roasted them, I charred them on all sides, and I took them out and I put them in a strainer and I let all of the oils and juices run out of them. Well, not all, as much as I could get out. And now they're cool enough to handle. I'm going to peel them. And what I'm going to do is cut off the end here. And then I'm just going to peel it any way I can, basically. In some areas, I might scrape away with my knife. I might use a spoon or a fork, whatever I feel is comfortable to get all of the flesh out from the inside. And I'm going to discard this charred skin. So now that I have my eggplant completely peeled, I have it on a cutting board, and I'm just going to really roughly chop it, just like that, all over. Doesn't matter, you know, how big, or just roughly chop all of it and put it in a bowl. I have noticed that I've added tomatoes to my cookie sheet. I'm roasting these as well. I'm roasting them whole. I didn't do anything to them. Now that they're charred on one side, I'm flipping them over. I'm going to char the other side, and then I'll show you the next step. So I've got my roasted tomatoes in a bowl, and now they're cool enough for me to touch, and I'm just going to peel the skins off gently with my hands. Nothing fancy about it. I'm going to get all the skins, but I'm going to try to keep them all in the bowl because I want to save the juices and use them in my salad. I just want to show you one more thing. Sometimes this happens, it doesn't all come off, and then you have the butt end, I guess. And what I like to do is just use a fork and scrape down, and you're going to have the core that's going to be kind of tough. And I'm going to discard that. I'm not going to use that, but I'm going to try and get as much of the soft cooked tomato as I can. And also I want to mention that you see that my tomatoes are not as charred as my peppers. You're not going to get such a char because there's so much moisture on them. You just want to get a little bit of a char and get your tomatoes soft and cooked. So I've peeled my tomatoes, and basically what I have in this bowl is a bunch of sauce, mush. If you get some large pieces, you can chop them up or leave them in, however you like. And then I have my eggplant that I've kind of roughly chopped. Again, you can cut it as large or make it as fine as you like into a paste if you want. I'm going to mix this together, and I also have my peppers, which I'll show you in a second. Now I had my peppers sitting in a separate bowl, and if you can see, there's a bunch of juices here. I don't want to waste these. They're full of flavor. I'm going to pour them into my bowl, and then I'm going to chop up my peppers. And you can chop them as fine or as large as you like. I think I'm going to do a medium dice on these, and I'll show you the next step. So I've mixed my tomatoes and eggplant, and I've chopped my peppers, and I'm going to add them in. And I'm going to stir that together, and I'm going to add lots of salt and lots of black pepper. And I stop there. You can take this dish into other flavor profiles if you want, but I'm begging you to please just give it a try like this first, with lots of salt and pepper, with nothing else. If you want, if you don't like it the way I'm making it now, you can certainly add some fresh crushed garlic or some raw onion. You can add herbs like cilantro or basil, vinegar, lemon. It's up to you, you know, which way you take this. But I love it just like this, and I like to eat it warm with a spoon, and it's good cold as well. I hope you give it a try, and I hope you enjoy. I want to give you a shot of the finished product. I also want to mention that the proportions don't really matter. Just keep in mind that the tomatoes will give you that acidity, and then eggplant, peppers, it's really, you know, how much you have, how much you want to use. This made a whole lot, and it's also kind of runny. I just want you to be aware of that. So it's a little bit more runny than a caponata. I hope you enjoy.